Okay, question 6. The elevation at ground level is 0 feet. An elevator starts at 90 feet below ground level. After traveling for 15 seconds, the elevator is 20 feet below ground level. Which statement describes the elevator's rate of change in elevation during this 15-second interval? All right, so let's draw it out. It's always helpful to draw these out. Whenever you have above ground level, below ground level, just draw it out. It's so much easier if you draw it out. So the elevator starts, well, the elevation at ground level is 0 feet. The elevator starts at 90 feet below, so negative 90, and goes, travels for 15 seconds. It doesn't say up or down, but it ends at negative 20 feet below ground level. So it obviously traveled up. And when you draw it out, when you try to do it, algebraically, it can get kind of messy. But if you just draw it out, obviously it traveled up 70 feet, right? You started at negative 90 or 90 below. You ended at 20 below. So you're going to go up 70 feet, right? Don't let these negative numbers, spook you. If you just draw it out, you can see if you started here and you ended up here, you go up 70 feet. So if you look at your answers, the elevator traveled upward. Okay, that's okay. The elevator traveled upward. That's okay. The elevator traveled downward. No, it's not going to travel downward. The elevator traveled downward. No, that's not going to be right. So A or B is still in play, and C and D is out of here. All right, so just drawing it out, helps us get going on this problem. So how many seconds did we travel? 15 seconds, right? We traveled for 15 seconds. And how many feet did we go up? Well, we went up 70 feet, right? Because the difference between negative 90 and negative 20 is 70. You just think of that logically. It takes 70 to get from negative 90 to negative 20. Okay. Which statement describes the elevator's rate of change in elevation during this 15-second interval? And we're looking for feet per second, right? Because all our answers are feet per second. And that kind of makes sense because we're doing unit rates here in 7th grade. So let's cross multiply and divide. 70 times 1 divided by 15. If we plug that into our calculator and we look at our answers, we're going to be like, oh, well, you're going to know your answer. But it's looking for it in not decimals, it's looking for it in fractions. So we can do it that way. We can think of 70 times 1 as just 70 divided by 15. We can keep, change, flip. We can think of 15 as 15 over 1. We can think of 70 as 70 over 1. And we can change division from division to multiplication. And we can flip that. So it becomes 70 over 1 times 1. Oh my gosh, 70 over 1 times 1 over 15. Right? Keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip. We're good to go. And we get 70 over 15. And we're like, hey, both of these are divisible by 5. And we divide them by 5, and what is that? 12, 14 over 3. And we say, hey, 3 goes into 14 how many times? Well, that goes in 4 times. What's left? 3 times 4 is 12, so 2 would be left. 4 2/3. Yep. 4 2/3. Yep. And 4 2/3. There we go.